8 years ago, the narrator, Amina Kanti, a 23-year-old girl from a small West African coastal town, walked out of her parents' clay brick home with nothing but a torn backpack and a cracked phone. Her parents had declared her dead to the family after she refused an arranged marriage that would have benefited them financially. The entire village whispered that she would never survive on her own. Her mother's last words echoed like a curse: "A woman without a family is a leaf waiting to rot." Amina moved to the capital city, slept under market stalls, and washed dishes in cramped roadside kitchens. She learned to code on borrowed Wi-Fi behind a university that she couldn't afford to attend. She built small apps for vendors, then bigger platforms for transport and farming cooperatives. Every night she promised herself one thing: "I will return only when they can no longer pretend I never existed." 8 silent years passed. No calls, no messages, not a single inquiry from the people who once swore she had shamed them. The world forgot her family, but Amina carved her own world until Forbes Africa featured her on the cover, calling her the village daughter who revolutionized trade networks. And then, after 8 long years of silence, her phone lit up with a familiar name. "Mom, Amina, we need to talk." Her hands froze. The woman who called her dead had resurrected her only now. Amina stared at the screen, her heartbeat thudding like a festival drum. 8 years. Not a word. Not a breath. Not even a rumor passed to her through old neighbors. Now suddenly, after her name hit Forbes, her mother wanted to talk. She didn't open the message immediately. Instead, she stepped onto the balcony of her new penthouse overlooking Dakar's glowing coastline. Fishing boats bobbed under the moon, just like they did back home. The night air carried the same salty breeze she used to breathe as a child. But nothing felt the same anymore. Her assistant, Kofi, noticed her trembling hands. "Bad news?" he asked softly. Amina forced a smile. "Just history knocking on the wrong door." When she finally opened the message, her mother's words cut like a sharpened calabash. "Amina, your father is sick. We need money. Come home." No greeting. No apology. No acknowledgement of the 8 years she spent building herself from dust. Only need. Amina closed her eyes, flashes of the past flooding in, her mother turning her face away the night Amina was thrown out, her father shouting that she had brought disgrace, her siblings pretending she didn't exist in family photos. She whispered to herself. They didn't want a daughter. They wanted an investment. But then came another message, this time from her younger brother whom she once adored. "Mom is lying. There's more. Please come." The truth seemed bigger than the excuse. Amina felt something shifting, a storm forming. Amina didn't reply to her mother. Instead, she booked a discreet flight home, no press, no entourage, no announcement. She wanted to see the truth with her own eyes before deciding anything. Kofi tried to warn her. "Amina, wounds don't heal just because you became powerful." She only answered, power wasn't the goal. Clarity is. When Amina stepped out of the dusty bus into her old village, the world around her felt smaller than memory. The same narrow paths lined with baobab trees, the same painted market stalls, but the people looked at her with unfamiliar awe. Someone whispered, "Isn't that the girl from the magazine?" Another muttered, "The one they disowned?" Children followed her, curious. Elders stared at her designer shoes like they didn't belong on their soil. Her childhood home appeared exactly as she had left it, cracked walls, sagging tin roof, the smell of smoke from her mother's cooking fire drifting in the air. But as she stepped closer, her brother Malik rushed out from behind the house. He looked thinner, older, and his voice cracked. "Amina, thank God you came. Things aren't what Mom told you." She gripped his arms. "Tell me everything." He swallowed hard. "Mom didn't call you because Dad is sick. She called you because the family is falling apart. Debts. Land disputes. Shame. And they want your money to fix it." Amina felt coldness crawl up her spine. Not sickness, greed had summoned her. And then Malik added the part that hurt the most. They only want you back now, because people in the village are talking about your wealth. Amina followed Malik into the dim clay brick house. The moment she crossed the doorway, every memory she had buried clawed its way back. The nights she slept on the cold floor, the mornings she kneaded dough while her siblings prepared for school, the echo of her mother's disappointed sighs. Her mother sat by the cooking fire, pretending to be surprised. "Amina, you came," she said, voice soft but eyes calculating. Amina didn't sit. "You told me father was sick," she replied calmly. Her mother stiffened. "He is, in a way." Just then, her father appeared from the inner room, not sick, not weak, simply annoyed at being interrupted. His eyes widened at the sight of her, then narrowed. "So the prodigal daughter returns," he muttered. Amina remained steady. "I'm not here to fight. I just want the truth." Silence. The fire crackled. Her mother finally spoke, frustration bleeding through her words. "The family's reputation is collapsing. Your uncle is trying to take our land. People mock us, saying we threw away a daughter who became richer than kings. We had no choice but to call you." Amina almost laughed at the absurdity. 8 years of silence, erased with one sentence of convenience. "And now you want money?" she asked. Both parents avoided her eyes. Her father grumbled, "You owe us. We raised you." Amina's jaw tightened. "I owe you nothing for disowning me." Behind her, Malik whispered urgently. "That's not the worst part, they have a plan. A big one. And you're the key." The air thickened. Amina felt her heartbeat shift. Something darker was hiding in this house. Malik led Amina outside, away from their parents' listening ears. They walked past the old mango tree where she once studied under lantern light, and stopped near the cracked water well. Malik hesitated, rubbing his palms nervously. "Amina, they don't just want your money," he began. She folded her arms. "Then what?" "They want you to fund a business under the family name. A farm export company." Amina raised an eyebrow. "Why me?" "Because everyone knows your name now. Investors trust you. The village chief trusts you. If you sign the papers, they get approval immediately." Amina felt something twist in her chest, not pain, but recognition. Her parents didn't want reconciliation. They wanted her signature, her status, her credibility. Malik continued, voice trembling. "They think if you help them, the village will stop mocking them. They can say they guided you, that your success came from the family." Amina stared at the red earth beneath her feet. The same soil her mother once said she was unworthy to walk on. The same soil she had left behind to survive. "And what if I refuse?" she asked quietly. Malik looked away. "They'll tell everyone you abandoned them again. They'll make you the villain to protect their pride." Amina exhaled slowly. So that was the plan. Not love. Not forgiveness. Just calculated manipulation shaped like an olive branch. But then Malik grabbed her wrist, urgency in his eyes. "Before you decide, there's something else you need to see. Something they're hiding." Amina's pulse quickened. What else could her family possibly conceal? Malik guided Amina behind the house, past the old chicken coop and toward a door she didn't recognize, a small wooden panel hidden behind stacked firewood. "This wasn't here when I left," Amina whispered. Malik nodded and pushed the wood aside. "They built it 2 years ago. Only Mom and Dad have the key. I found it by accident." The door creaked open, revealing a cramped room lit by a single flickering bulb. Inside were folders, receipts, contracts, and, shockingly, newspaper clippings of Amina's achievements. Every article, every interview, every financial report about her company was pinned to the walls like a shrine. A shrine built by people who called her dead. Amina stepped closer, her hands shaking. She found documents showing her parents had been claiming her success publicly, telling officials she still supported them financially, even forging her old signature on minor grant applications to gain community benefits. "They've been living off your name," Malik revealed, voice small. Whenever you made the news, people gave them gifts, loans, respect. But now that the village learned you cut ties with them, everything fell apart. Amina's breath caught in her throat. They hadn't just wanted her back. They had been profiting off her absence for years. Then she found the most painful item. A letter she wrote at 16, begging her mother for affection, saved not as love but as proof for manipulation. Amina felt heat rising behind her eyes. My entire story, they turned it into their shield. She stepped out of the room, her anger no longer a flame but a silent, controlled wildfire. This ends today, she said. Amina walked out of the secret room with a calmness that terrified Malik. There were no tears. No trembling hands. Just a stillness, the kind that comes right before a thunderstorm breaks the sky. Her mother spotted them and hurried over. Amina, the village chief is coming tonight. We told him you would sign the partnership papers. She spoke as if Amina were a child obeying instructions. Amina didn't respond. By sunset, the entire village gathered in the courtyard, elders on woven mats, women carrying lanterns, young boys climbing trees to see better. The chief arrived, regal in his embroidered robe. Her father stepped forward proudly. Our daughter has returned to support us and bring honor to this family. Tonight, she will sign. Amina raised a hand. The murmurs fell silent. She spoke slowly, her voice resonating like a drumroll. I came because I believed you needed help. But what you need is truth. Her mother's smile faltered. Amina continued, for 8 years, you called me dead. You shamed me. You threw me out. And while I struggled to survive, you built a shrine of my success and used my name to gain money, respect, and favors. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Her father snapped, mind your words. You owe us. Amina stepped aside, revealing the box of forged documents Malik had brought. The chief examined them, his expression darkening. You used your daughter's name illegally, he said sternly. And now you ask her to sign more contracts? The village stared at her parents with disappointment, even disgust. Amina looked directly at them, her voice soft but unshakable. You didn't want a daughter. You wanted a ladder. Her mother's face crumpled. But Amina wasn't done. Tonight, I signed something, but not what you think. The air thickened, a calm before the final blow. Amina stepped forward, holding a leather folder she had carried from the city. Her parents leaned in, desperate, hopeful, believing she would forgive everything for the sake of family honor. But Amina opened the folder and revealed her own document. A public statement. I will sign tonight, she said, her eyes steady, but I will sign my future, not your plans. The chief read the statement aloud for the crowd. I, Amina Kanti, will donate a portion of my Forbes earnings not to my parents, but to the youth of this village, to fund education, tech training, and small businesses for every girl and boy who was ever told their dreams were too big for this land. The villagers erupted in cheers, children jumping, women ululating with joy. Her parents stood frozen, color draining from their faces. Her mother whispered, "What about us?" Amina turned toward them, her voice gentle but final. You buried me 8 years ago. You don't get to claim the woman I became. Her father hissed, you will regret humiliating us. Amina shook her head. I didn't humiliate you. Your greed did. The chief stepped between them. From today, the village stands with Amina. Her generosity honors us far more than your lies. Amina hugged Malik tightly. You're the only one who saw me as family. As she left the village, lanterns glowing behind her like stars, Amina felt lighter, not because she punished them, but because she broke the cycle. She whispered to the night sky. I wasn't reborn when Forbes named me. I was reborn the day I walked away from those who never loved me. And with that, her story, once twisted by others, finally belonged to her again.